This is the story of the best fishing experience of my life, hands down. Now, I've been fortunate enough to have been on a lot of really cool fishing trips in my life, but nothing quite like this one. It's one of those experiences that honestly I'll remember for the rest of my life. Now, this trip all began heading north with my dad to the central coast of British Columbia on our 50-foot converted trawler, the MV Kumbaya. Now, this trip was particularly special because I got to bring along one of my good friends and guiding partners from the Haida Gwaii, Mike Erlowski.
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
And we had been fishing together for probably a decade in the Haida Gwaii, but we never had the opportunity to fish like this together.
Good.
And so having two guides in a boat fishing for some of the biggest Chinooks in the world, yes, we hit the timing right, but needless to say, we slayed.
Sweet. Yeah.
I got a friend in Jesus, so you know that when you die, he's gonna recommend you to the spirit in the sky. Won't recommend you to the spirit in the sky. That's where you're gonna go when you die. When you die and you lay it to rest, you're gonna go to the place that's the best.
Yes. Thank you. Hey. How big was you guys? Nice.
Never been a sinner, I never sinned. I got a friend in Jesus. So you know that
I really
have
to take a pee.
Something about it, man.
Honestly, we're not fighting about it.
I was needed to go for a pee too.
This might be a good one.
Yeah. There you go, Mike. Kid.
You!
Yeah.
Mikey pants undone, taking a piss, sitting off the front of the boat, and the bow rod goes off.
It was meant to be.
Holy. So after the first 3 days of fishing, between myself, Mikey, and my dad, we landed 14 Tyees in 3 days. And on its own right, that would have made for one of the best fishing trips of my life. But what happened on the last day made for the best fishing experience I've ever had. Mikey had left that afternoon before the last day. And so the last day, it was just my dad and I fishing. And we went out in the morning, we got a nice one together, and then he came back into the boat, and I decided to go in for a solo fish for the last couple hours of the trip. And of course, I doubled up on a 42 and a 43 pounder fishing solo. To tell this story, I have some old footage of my dad and I being interviewed. And this footage is pretty special to me because my dad is no longer with us. And so it makes telling this story quite a bit sweeter. It was Dad and I fishing together, and
we just had some groups on the boat, and so the last day after a week or 10 days, and you get up early, and you know, people fish all day, and then they love to have fun at night, and so there could be some drinking involved in the evening, and so they tend to be long days and early mornings.
Yeah.
So we'd fished in the morning, and we caught a nice Tyee.
We had gotten up fairly early at first light, and we got a Tyee together. I think it was like 35 pounds or 34 pounds. And then we fished till about noon and got nothing after that. So Dad was getting pretty tired at that point. He's like, all right, take him back to the boat. Like, I'm going to go have a nap. And I was like, all right, well, go back out. And so I took him back to the boat, and I was pretty tired as well. And then I heard on the radio, somebody had just got a 70, like landed and released. And I was like, okay, it's my last day here. I can't be sitting on the boat. I got time to fish, so I'm going to go up by myself. So I took my boat, which is about a 25-foot sport fishing boat, and took my boat by myself, went out, was fishing.
And I said, I'll listen on the radio. Boat guys, they sleep with one ear open all the time anyway, right?
Yeah, and as I was cruising along, I got a hit off my bow rod, went up there, started playing the fish, and as I'm like playing the fish back to the back of the boat, one of my other rods went off. I'm doubled up on Tyees. This is f***ed up. And so I had a double header by myself, and just, you know, was nuts, just running around the boat, trying to, you know, clear rods and, you know, trying to control two fish by putting one in the rod holder, reeling it down, getting tension on it, you know, playing one fish, and then nope, that one's running the boat, run to that side, play that one for a while, run to that one, play that one, and I fought them both for about 45 minutes, close to an hour.
I heard on the radio, some kid's got two big fish on and he's by himself. And then about 30 seconds later, it's, Dad, get your butt out here.
So then he came, I called Dad on the radio. I was able to like scramble to the front of the boat, reach the radio with one arm in the hand and call Dad, like, I need help here getting these fish in. And
it was actually Eddie Painter. His grandfather started Painter's Lodge that gave me a ride out, and I used Eddie's brand new net to
net one of the fish. And just as they came by in the little whaler there, one of the fish hit the surface and just hit the surface. They cruised right by it and netted it as they went by. And I was like, oh, I got that one. And then I netted the other one beside the boat by myself. And then Dad came in the boat. It was a double header, 42, 43 that got by myself.
And both got released well.
Yeah. So I was by myself, and I landed one pig, and there's pig dos. Yeah.
I was trying to
Well, that's the best fishing trip I've ever had. Honestly, I was vibrating and shaking for days after that. I couldn't sleep. I'll never forget it. It'll be pretty hard to beat that, to be honest. Let me know in the comments below, what's your best fishing trip you've ever had? Most memorable fishing experience. Until next time, tight lines.